For years, I thrived in the high-pressure business world, but the workaholic life finally caught up with me. I was 35, very overweight, in chronic pain with severe mobility issues, terrible diet, no exercise. My health was a complete wreck. Then I went to a gentle yoga class and felt truly relaxed. The stress just melted away. I went from a size 18 to a size 8. I stopped getting sick. Pain disappeared. I learned to open my heart and I felt happy for the first time in years. So I said goodbye to the business world and started teaching. Yoga doesn't have to be strenuous. The easiest movements can trigger major release of chronic symptoms, no matter your age.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hello, I'm Deborah Devine. Welcome to Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems. Just like you saw, I had lots of problems before discovering gentle yoga. I was a total stress mess. And one area this really affected was my libido. They said that 90% of sex is in the brain, but over time, my mind wouldn't let me go there. Based on that experience and many years of teaching, I've planned a yoga series that relaxes the mind and the body, allowing you to be truly present for intimacy. This practice has been designed for people who are not in great shape, so you don't need to be flexible or an athlete to benefit from it. In a relaxing warm-up and the poses that follow, we'll go back and forth between our second and fourth chakras, unlocking our reproductive organs and opening our hearts. The poses are so easy that you might wonder how effective they can be. But do the whole series. Or if you're busy, just one or two of the poses will do, and they will help you get in the mood. Let's start the healing. Joining me today, Maggie, Nina, and Bev. And we're all going to be increasing our libido now with this practice. Let's begin a warm-up, constructive rest. We come down onto the mat, lie down on our back with the knees bent, using the arms to help us and support us to get down here. We take the shoulder blades, we move them underneath the heart. We externally rotate the upper arm bones and let the arms rest away from the ribs. The feet are coming a little bit wider than the hips, heels out, toes in. And the next time an out breath comes along, we'll move the knees over to the right, and the head is going to move over to the left. So this wonderful rocking back and forth is helping to iron out some tension in the low back, iron out tension in the back of the hips, and also iron out tension on the back of the skull. Now let's bring our hands to the belly, maybe around the hip points, and then maybe closer to underneath the belly button, continuing to rock the knees in one direction and the head in the opposite direction. Very slowly, letting the breath guide the movements. And we're just going to bring our awareness to the second chakra. This is the energy center that is located directly behind the uterus, on the front of the spine. And the color that's associated with this chakra is the color of orange. So just close your eyes and think about a big ball of whirling energy, orange. This is the energy center that's responsible for governing reproduction, passion, procreation, and sometimes when we get really stressed, the belly starts to shut down, our reproductive organs shut down, coming back to center. And then taking the hands up and circling the wrists. We're going to circle the wrists. We're starting to think about the fourth chakra. You can continue to rock your knees back and forth. Maybe you'd like to change the position of your feet, maybe a little bit wider or closer together. And we'll be circling the wrists a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then we'll take the hands onto the shoulders and we'll begin to make some circles with the arms. We're activating the heart chakra. And now I encourage you to continue doing what feels good. You can continue to rock your knees back and forth. You could let your arms rest and then come back again to circling the wrists or the elbows. We'll be back in a few moments.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hi, my name is Nina, and I'm finding that as I'm getting older, the old libido ain't what it used to be. I'm hoping through yoga that I will have an enhanced libido, and maybe feel a little more romantic. And I think my husband would love it if instead of spending my time in bed reading and doing Scrabble on my iPad, that maybe I'd give him a little more time and a little more romance. I can take it or leave it, and he'd rather take it a little more often than I'm ready for. So here's hoping.
Welcome back. We're working with the libido today, and Nina, we know your husband wants a little bit less Scrabble and a little bit more smooching, right?
Right.
So this next sequence of poses is going to activate the fourth chakra and the second chakra a little bit more deeply. So we're going to come into Tadasana, a mountain pose, and we'll be adding some sun breast to that. So the feet are about hip width apart, heels out, toes in, a bit of an inner spiral on the upper leg so that the SI joints get a little bit more space. We come back on the heels and we energize the legs. We energize the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. Feel like a girdle is pressing you in here. Feel very strong. The spine is naturally lifting out of the pelvis now. Feel the heart opening up. Next time an in-breath comes along, arms come out and up, reaching for the sky. At the top of the in-breath, the fingers touch and we exhale, hands to the heart. One more, inhaling, exhaling. And then our last round, inhaling, reaching, exhaling, hands to heart space. Now we're going to be moving into warrior pose, and we'll take a couple of variations on warrior. So the left heel is going to come back, and the right foot is going to come forward. We're going to ground that back leg. We've got a nice strong back leg here, and the front shin is vertical. Maybe we just come forward a tiny bit more. Yes. And the knee is moving over to the baby toe side of the foot, pressing down into the heel of the front leg, energizing the back leg, taking the sit bones and moving them together. So we've got this wonderful blossoming open of the front part, the inner part of the legs. A lot of lymphatic tissue gets stuck here. All kinds of lymph gets stuck here. So we're moving energy out of this area, working with the second chakra. Let the arms come up, open the heart, bring shoulder blades down and open through the collarbones. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Long, slow, smooth in-breaths. Everything is lifting on the front of the body, exhaling down the back line of the body as you ground on those exhalations. And then the next in-breath is going to take the back hand down onto the back thigh, and the front arm is going to roll open and then lifting, exalting the warrior. Couple of breaths here. Press down into the front heel. Move the front knee over to the baby toe side of the foot, allowing all of this lymphatic tissue to really open up and release. Grounding through the back heel, grounding through the baby toe side of the back foot. Reaching up and really bringing a lot of air into this right side of the chest. We're opening up the fourth chakra. We're bringing more of the air element into our cells. And then we're going to exhale, come back into warrior, straighten the front knee, turn the toes forward, and then left foot comes out. Right heel comes back, energizing the back leg, hugging muscle to bone. Left knee is coming over to the baby toe side of the foot. We're going to the sit bones, and we're bringing them together. That is going to blossom open the front inner thighs. This is where we get a lot of stuck energy, especially as women. We sit in dresses and skirts, and our legs are constantly pressing together. Now we're opening up these energy channels of the second chakra. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, press down with the feet. Yes. Turning this way here, beautiful. Long, slow, smooth in-breaths. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breaths. Feel the belly come to the front spine. Maybe pausing there for just a moment. This is so wonderful. Let's just bring you back a little tiny bit. Then the back hand comes down onto the back thigh, and we roll the arm up. Long, slow, smooth, and complete in and out breaths. Externally rotating this upper arm, facing the palm back, pressing down into the heel of the front foot, engaging the muscles of the legs, opening, blossoming open the inner thighs. And then we come back to warrior two. Arms come down, toes come forward. Yes, wonderful. Now we're going to be doing prayer pose. So we'll come down onto our knees and let the arms come long. Let the arms come long. Maybe we take the sit bones high to the sky. We spread the fingers nice and wide. We're working with the energy of the heart. We're working with the energy of our love. We're working with the energy of forgiveness. We're working with the energy of warmth and tenderness. Allow your heart to melt towards the ground. Every in-breath is moving the ribs out and up, creating more space for air and oxygen to come in, exhaling completely and letting the belly come to the front spine, maybe pausing there for just a moment and experiencing that wonderful stillness and peace. Inhaling and feeling that wonderful nourishing prana penetrating all of the cells of the body. Feel the back releasing. We're getting a lot of traction in the spine. The discs are starting to puff up like marshmallows, and there's this wonderful length that's being created. We're releasing a lot of tension out of the paraspinals, those muscles on each side of the spine. Think about warmth. Inhale, feed that warmth back into your heart. Think about your loved one. And then continue to enjoy this pose for the next couple of minutes, and we will come back and continue working with our libido.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Welcome back. We're working with the libido. Early in the practice, we were spending a lot of time on the second chakra. Our warrior poses were giving us a lot of energy and prana down here in the belly where the reproductive organs, the organs of sexuality are. We were also working on the heart chakra, opening up the heart space. And now we're going to be going back down into the second chakra. We're going to amp things up a little bit, and then we're going to move that energy up into the fourth chakra again. So we're going to begin with a practice called Mula Bandha, and we'll be following that up with Uddiyana Bandha. So let's come to legs a little bit wider apart than hips, hands on the knees, taking the sit bones and the tailbone back. Now just bring your awareness to the perineum. The bottom of the pelvis, there's a diaphragm. And this is where we're going to be concentrating our energy. We're going to exhale, and at the end of the exhalation, there's going to be a very subtle lift. It's like a Kegel. And then the inhalation comes, and we just let that go. Another exhalation comes, feel the Kegel start again. Feel the perineum lift. And then inhale and release that. And then at the end of the next out breath, again, that perineum lift. And then holding that, let the in-breath come. And then the out-breath is going to happen. And we're going to continue that out-breath. Release all of the breath, and then take the belly organs back and lift them up underneath the ribs for just a moment. And then inhale, let the hands walk up the legs and come back to standing. This is starting to access some of the energies down here deeper into the pelvis. Let's come back. Another round. Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. And that whole area, the pelvic floor, we're going to lift that up at the end of the out-breath. And then we'll inhale and release that. And then another out-breath is going to happen, and we're going to release all of the air out of the lungs, lifting the perineum, lifting the pelvic floor, lifting that whole area at the bottom of the pelvis. Take the belly back, suck in the belly, lift up all the belly organs up under the ribs, and then inhale, walk the arms, walk the hands up the legs, and see how that goes. Wow. A lot of prana moving in here, yes? One more round. Coming back, hands on knees. Exhaling completely. Mula Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha. Inhaling, walking the hands back up. Ah, wow, we've really moved a lot of energy in the lower abdomen here. Now we're going to come into eagle. So the eagle is going to take all of that energy that we've been generating down here in the lower part of the pelvis, and it's going to move it up the spine, up the Sushumna Nadi, that central channel of the nervous system. Eagle is a pose whereby we are concentrating all of our energy on the front part of the spine. We're squeezing everything into the midline. And this is a very powerful pose for sexual performance and sexual desire. So taking a long, slow, smooth in-breath, and a long, slow, smooth out breath, squeezing everything in the middle, squeezing everything in toward the midline, squeezing the upper legs together, squeezing the forearms together, moving the shoulders wide. Now, the modifications for that, if you've got problems with balance, are taking the right leg up and over, resting the foot down in front, and then going to the upper legs, squeezing the upper legs together. Taking the arms out on the in-breath, and then exhaling, left arm comes over the top, grabbing a hold of ourselves. Now, if you're comfortable here, fantastic. Let's bring the shoulder blades down the back, broaden through the collarbones. Perhaps the bottom arm would like to come up. The top arm will come up and around. If you can touch your fingers, fantastic. If not, go back to hugging yourself. Long, slow, smooth in-breath, squeezing everything into the middle, opening up the collarbones, lengthening the back of the neck. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breath, release, and come back to Tadasana. Now we'll work the opposite side. Lifting the left foot up and over. Where would it like to be? Squeeze the inner thighs together. Feel all of this energy rising up the spine. Arms coming out. Exhaling, right arm comes over top of the left, and we hug ourselves. Feel the warmth of the heart underneath your arms here. Squeezing, the bottom arm comes up, and the top arm would like to come around. Pressing the palms together, pressing the forearms together, lifting the elbows, broadening the collarbones, bringing the shoulder blades down the back, moving the palms forward, moving all of that energy up the spine, into the mind, into the brain, and then releasing and coming back to Tadasana. Now, maybe you'd like to take a few more rounds of Eagle while we take a break. And when we come back, we'll be cooling down.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
No matter how much yoga you do, being relaxed and in the present moment are the keys to sexual performance and enjoyment. Spend more time in Shavasana or cultivate a meditation practice. Try a sitting or a walking meditation for 15 minutes.
Welcome back. We've been working with the libido. We've moved a lot of energy in the second chakra, in our reproductive area, as well as our heart center. Nina, how are you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm so energized. I'm going to go home and skip dinner and go straight to dessert.
Fantastic. So let's come into a nice cool down pose. Happy baby. We'll come onto our back. And we'll take the feet. You can take the toes. You can take the outside of the feet. You can also take the ankles or down closer to the knees. And then just using the breath, take the femurs down into the hip sockets a little bit more. This pose, again, is going to be working a little bit more into the second chakra, the energy center of our reproductive and procreative energies. And you can begin to rock back and forth. So you're giving your spine a wonderful massage. Let the out-breath be complete. Feel the belly come to the front spine. Maybe pause there for just a moment and feel that wonderful sense of peace and relaxation there at the end of the out-breath. Then when the in-breath comes in, find out where the breath is moving. Feel the breath. It's so nourishing when we make it wait at the front door that way. Maybe you'd like to press your feet into your hands and your hands into your feet, giving a little bit more isometric action and feeling that energy in the legs, in the low belly. Now you might want to take your sit bones down and give your low back a little bit of an arch. You could be taking the inside of the feet. You could be bringing the soles of your feet together as well. And then we can release the legs down. We'll be coming into Shavasana now, and we can support the knees with a bolster underneath, letting the feet come long one at a time. And then just letting the low back have that rest, letting go of the legs. Take the upper arms and rotate them externally. Let the palms face the sky. What might also be very nice is to elevate the knees with two bolsters or a wider. Yeah, that sounds good. And then, of course, it might be really nice to support the head and the neck. And so you can relax your skull back, shoulder blades coming down the back, opening up through the heart space. Now, we'll let ourselves surrender. Taking a couple of long, slow, smooth, and complete in and out breaths. And letting yourself ground. Feeling the parts of yourself that are really heavy. The hips, the shoulders, the back of the head. We take a long, slow, smooth in-breath into the low belly, the second chakra. Think about that color, orange, the color of creativity. And then exhale, tension and holding. And then another in-breath will come to the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. Breathing in light and spaciousness, visualizing the color of green, spring green, color of life, new growth, love. Exhaling completely, allowing the arms to rest, the fingers unfurling like the petals of a lotus. Please continue to enjoy Shavasana for the next 10 or 15 minutes. And we'll see you again next time on Healing Yoga. Namaste.